when a Labour government proposed a national health service after the Second World War, promising free universal healthcare for all, it was a radical idea, opposed by the party opposite. They complained, and I quote from an amendment they put down at the time, that it discourages voluntary association and that it undermines the freedom and independence of the medical profession. They didn't like that the NHS was centralised, that it was public, and that it was free for all. They condemned it as Marxist and voted against it 22 times. Fundamentally, they opposed the NHS for taking healthcare out of the market and for putting public good before private profit. But the party opposite saw its popularity and begrudgingly was forced to accept it. Mr. Deputy Speaker, these fundamentals haven't changed. This NHS corporate takeover bill is another step away from the original, truly public healthcare system, free from the corrosive influence of profit. The party opposite still opposes that idea, but don't take my word for it, take their own. The Prime Minister, when he was a backbencher, slammed the NHS as monolithic and monopolistic and called for privatisation. 4 senior cabinet members as backbenchers wrote a manifesto where they argued that 2/3 of hospitals should be run outside of the NHS and run privately or not for profit. And the new Health Secretary, who in the last year, alongside his role as a backbencher, has been on the books of a US megabank, JP Morgan, making £150,000 a year from a company who, and I quote from their literature, see the opportunities that lie ahead for private healthcare, and whose ideological hero, Ayn Rand, who he says he rereads every year, is an extreme right-wing libertarian philosopher who detested socialised healthcare. But it's not just words, Mr. Deputy Speaker, it's deeds too. To break up the NHS, not all in one go, because they know that the public wouldn't like that, but piece by piece, privatisation by stealth. That's what they've been doing. Since coming into power in 2010, more than £96 billion has gone to non-public healthcare providers. Nearly 20% of healthcare bids now go to private providers, and this bill won't reverse that, it will simply entrench it. It will put private companies on healthcare boards, giving them a say over our care and public funds. It will put steroids, draconianism we've seen in this pandemic, where Tory mates and donors have been handed billions of pounds in dodgy COVID government contracts. And it will implement a healthcare model that incentivises cuts and closures, rationing funding to health boards. Mr. Deputy Speaker, this dangerous bill is another step to privatisation. In its place, we need to reinstate the NHS as a truly public service with a proper pay rise for its workers, 15%, making up for a decade of falling pay. Thank you.